A lot of people had approached me about doing a documentary based on Fast Food Nation, and it seemed like a really great idea, and the problem was I never really trusted what was behind it, in the sense that each one of those options, it seemed like, would lead to some kind of sellout, just because of how highly charged a lot of the material was. I trusted the filmmaker, but I didn't always trust the networks or whoever was behind it.
Jeremy Thomas was the guy who got this whole ball rolling. He got Eric and I together initially. We hadn't met. I'd read Eric's book, but we met here in Austin when Eric was here on a book signing. And, you know, Jeremy was the guy who really thought, you know, there's a movie here. So.
I read Eric Schlosser's book and was very affected by what was in the book, and also thought, well, you know, this could, the essence of the book could make an interesting subject for a film, a feature film, not a documentary.
I met Rick in Austin when I was on a book tour and really liked him a lot. And then I was approached by Malcolm McLaren and Jeremy Thomas about doing a feature based on the book. And Rick and I started talking about it.
The first thing I asked Eric is the first thing everybody asks me now is like, well, is it a documentary? You know, the book's this great piece of nonfiction.
How do you take the themes of the book and not do it in a political, intellectual way, but through ordinary lives?
Well, once we had the big idea, like, okay, this is a character piece, then the hard work started. Okay, who are our characters? Where do they come from? What are they doing?
Everyone wants a big one.
I got a big one. How about just, like, eat me?
Okay, so there's no shortage of slogans for the future.
Fast Food Nation is a great book title and movie title, but I mean, it doesn't really encapsulate the breadth of what this whole story is about, and how many different issues are involved, from you know, illegal aliens, you know, to you know, dangerous workplace conditions, to contaminated food issues, and to who's culpable.
Hi. Welcome to Mickey's. Are you ready to order?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm thinking about a big one.
Okay. That'll be just a moment. Prior to reading the book, my diet consisted of mainly fast food. So it was very, maybe a little more aware of what was really going on. Just the health risks and stuff like that with the food, but also with the workers.
Look, it's pointed right at us, monitoring us.
You read the script, and it was, I thought, very faithful to the book, and obviously Eric co-wrote the script with Rick.
As for this little thing, she got about an hour or so left on her shift, so.
I thought that their device in using Greg's character, Greg Kinnear's character, and to make it a narrative was sort of brilliant.
When did all this happen? Last couple of years. Local ranchers lost control of their land. Banks took it. All right, cut. Great. Cut. It's about, you know, the power of big money, and a lot of the things that's wrong with this country today.
The big one's been great, really great. Sales keep creeping up. There's been no drop off.
That's what we're hearing.
If we are what we eat, we really should examine our standards and practices a lot more closely than we do. See, I grew up thinking that you know, if it comes in a package, then you know, it's got to be good for you, because you assume.
It's a very, very important problem, you know, and millions of people every day risk their own health by not knowing the background of the food they're eating.
Hola, it's me.
At the end, it's a love story, you know. It's a very carnal love.
Touch her again, and I'd kill you.
Regresen a trabajar y arreglen sus pendejadas a otra hora.
I mean, I hope this film has a good kind of punk rock feel to it.
What is with the uniforms?
Sorry,
Jesus.
Jobs, please.
Yeah, all right, put a blanket on her, all right?
I just don't think we have enough counterculture, things that make you think a little differently about something.
People, human beings are the only thing that affect change, you know? Art, and books, and dialogue and stuff can help push consciousness a little tiny bit.
Taco Bell, Denny's, Arby's, Mickey's, you got, what? You got the Hardee's, you got Chili's, you got Applebee's, you got Wendy's, or you got the IHOP, you got the KFC. Am I right? All right. Do they still have that Wiener Schnitzel? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
They do? Oh, good.
Civilization is crumbling. Its children are dying.
Come on, no, no.
Just telling a bunch of stories. I think they're interesting stories. It's like there's not been a lot of stories about really the American worker or the American living experience, and I think that's interesting. And there's some storylines here with immigrants. It's one thing to look at a statistic, but let's look at people's lives. And why are they coming to America? What is the American dream, and what does that mean? And what's the payback, and what's the payoff, and what's the risk?
The beautiful thing about this story is that it's a very traditional, immigrant story, and it's exactly what really happens, you know. And what I really am in love of is that the fact that Richard's been able to capture, you know, really what it's like. I mean, walking that desert in Mexico and getting into the back of that van and you know, talking to Luis Guzman about it, you know. We both looked at each other and said, wow, what a powerful statement. And it's really the first time that America is going to get to see, you know, in the mainstream, you know, how it really is.
People need to see it, man. You got to always wonder what if it was the other way around, you know? And I don't think that there's anything wrong with people wanting to take a chance on having a better life. Anybody that sees it that way ain't seeing it right, you know?
It's very scary to just, I don't know, to have the power and will and fantasy to have a better life and a new beginning, and it's scary. I read the book after I read the script, and I was amazed how they made the adaptation. It's fantastic. Like, they had these 3 different stories in Fast Food Nation, like very, you know, statistics, but they grabbed the 3 important stories.
I mean, you should see it. UMP's cattle, they're all just crammed together, living in their own manure, eating this genetically engineered crap.
I had to, you know, walk out of my comfort zone, step into something, a whole new other world, and challenge myself.
They put their asses on the line. That's exactly what we should do.
We should make a gigantic banner and go sneak to the top of the slaughterhouse.
And then we could blast the Smiths real loud and smoke up a doobie, right?
I'm really interested to see how it comes out, because I mean, Dazed and Confused, you know what I mean? That's really what this feels like, sort of, you know what I mean? Is that kind of like reality, you know? They're just a real people doing things that they would actually do, you know? Come on!
And this film is not meant to be a lesson or a didactic message in any way, but hopefully that people can be entertained and enjoy the story and then take away from the movie what we took away from reading the book.
I think it's a bold idea, and so I feel really good about what's happened, and that's the story of the film.
But I think once you get into the human stories behind any issue, then it's what you feel about those people and how you see their story, and it kind of goes beyond politics or ideologies. I mean, to me, the movie's just about these people. I mean, you could be on any side of the political spectrum, and I think you can still find your way, you know, into the movie.